So in this session of this class, we have in the advanced corporate reporting, we have looked at what we call we look at the group account under the advanced corporate reporting. And also we have looked at what the group account is. We define what the group account is, and also we give we define subsidiary, parent company, and also give the element or the evidences of control. That is, whenever a parent company acquires subsidiary, we say there are elements or evidence that is, the elements that give rise to a control in that subsidiary. And also, we now look at the content of the statement of the content of the consolidated financial statement. And also in that content, we identify about 4 contents of the statement of the consolidated financial statement. Content of consolidated financial statements. Of course, we said that under the consolidated financial statement, we said we have what we call the consolidated statement of financial position, which was formerly called the balance sheet, and also we have what we call the consolidated statement of profit or loss and other comprehensive income, which we call the profit or loss account. Then we have consolidated statement of changes in equity, and also we have consolidated cash flow. So these are the items or content of consolidated financial statement. And of course, under the statement of financial position, we now look at the statement of financial position, what it is, which we call our formal statement of financial balance sheet. And we now look at, before you can consolidate statement of financial position, which is balance sheet, there are some steps and procedure that must be followed before you can consolidate statement of financial position. So also look at those steps from step 1 to step 5, which are very, very important. They are like workings that was going to help you to consolidate statement of financial position. We also look at what we call the adjustment, that is computation and treatment of additional information, which means we say under statement of financial position, most of the times they will give you statement of financial position of the parent and that of subsidiary, and that statement of financial position is going to accompany what we call the additional information will accompany that statement of financial position, and they will give you like 3 or 4 or 5 additional information. How do you treat those additional information which we have done? So we have provision for unrealized profits, either on the sale of inventory or on the sale of non-current asset. So we have what you call how to determine your cost of investment. Also, we say we have how to determine your what you call the asset acquisition, how to determine your impairment, how to treat the impairment and all that. So we have done all those things, how to treat those items you might likely go to see under additional information. But now we want to enter another content of the statement of financial position, which we call the consolidated statement of profit or loss and other comprehensive income. We have consolidated statement of profit or loss and other. That is the next, after the question we have solved under the statement of financial position. So here I want to look at the consolidated statement of profit or loss and other comprehensive income. Of course, when we said consolidated statement of profit or loss, we mean this is the statement of profit or loss and other comprehensive income of parents and subsidiary prepared and presented as if they are single economic unit, which means, if you remember, that's how we defined the statement of financial position. So which means we are going to bring the items under the profit or loss account of the parent and that of subsidiary in one single economic unit. Bringing those items together in one single economic unit is what we call the consolidated statement of profit or loss and other comprehensive income. If you could remember, based on the IAS, IAS1 is talking about presentation of financial statements. Whenever we are presenting financial statement, you know that, which is IAS1, of course, financial statements, comprise of a statement of financial position, statement of profit or loss and other comprehensive income, statement of changes in equity, statement of cash flow and all that. Now, you should know, based on that IAS1, there are some items that make up this profit or loss account or statement of profit or loss account. There are some items that make up. According to IAS1, discover that there are some line of items that a company must have, that actually make up the profit or loss account. Line of items like, of course, that under profit or loss account we have income and expenses. These are two major things that make up profit or loss account: income and expenses. Like, for example, if I want to give you a summary of, based on IAS1, how statement of profits, statements of profit or loss and other comprehensive income of a company. This one is not talking about a consolidated company, just a single company. Like, for example, profit or loss account comprises of, based on based on accounting standard. I'm not talking about those the previous standard we had, that SAS. Based on the IFRS now, this is how profit and loss account is expected to be. Now, the company profit and loss account, we have revenue, for example. What make up the profit and loss account? Revenue, you have less cost of sales. If you remove cost of sales, you get gross profits. Gross profit. Then there are times you have other incomes. You less administrative expense. I'm just giving you a format just for you less distribution costs. Whatever you have, you can call it operating profits. Then we have investment income, like dividend received or interest received, you add it. Then you less finance costs. Whatever you have, you call it profit before tax. Then income tax, expenses, you remove it, you call it profit for the year. Of course, profit for the year. If you still want to go further and determine the other comprehensive income, comprises, remember, it's profit or loss and other comprehensive income. The other comprehensive income comprises of maybe you have a gain or loss on the valuation of asset and all that. So, but these are the major. So you have level. So this is basically how to prepare the normal a single entity's profit or loss account. This is what make up the profit or loss account of an entity. The revenue, you remove cost of sales to give you gross profit. You add other income. You less admin expenses. You less distribution costs to give you operating profit. You add investment income if there is. You less finance cost to give you profit before tax. These are the items that you are expected to disclose in the face of the statement of profit or loss account. These are the items that you are expected to disclose. In accounting, there are some items you are expected to disclose, and also there are some items you are expected not to disclose under your financial statement. So under profit or loss account, these are the items you are expected to disclose, from revenue up to profit for the year. So that is that. So now when we talk about the consolidated statement of profit or loss and other comprehensive, we mean bringing together of the items. Let's assume this is called a parent company A, B, the same thing, in one single account is what we call the consolidated statement of profit or loss and other comprehensive income. You are bringing the items of parent company and the subsidiaries in one single account, and we make this item mean from revenue up to profit for the year. You are bringing those items together to consolidate is what they call the consolidated statement of profit or loss. So now that is That is what we call statement of profit or loss. Now, of course, remember again, under the profit or loss account again, there are also steps and procedure that might help you before you can actually consolidate. I call it like they are like workings. Anytime you see steps are like workings that they will going to help you in before you consolidate. There are some steps, and I will help you now to look at those steps to follow before you consolidate the major aspect of those working before you finally consolidate your statement of profit or loss. Steps or procedure. So let's look at those procedure. Remember, we're looking at a consolidated statement of profit or loss and other comprehensive. How to consolidate the profit or loss account of the parent and that of subsidiaries. So in that case, when we look at what are those steps? Step one, of course, is that in step one also you also need to go and determine the group structure. Yeah, like working number one. Remember, I told you how to determine the group structure in the previous statement of financial position. They will tell you A, maybe P acquire 80% or 90% in S. So which means you should know P is a parent company, S is a subsidiary, and then of course you have to know what is the percentage of control. Is it 80%? Before you can control a company, you must acquire up to 50% equity interest in that company, and above, So that is that. So you have to know what is the percentage of control and what is the percentage of NCI and when is the date of acquisition. So, so the first is that also here, the same thing we have under statement of financial position, you have to go and determine the group structure, for example, determine the group structure and all that. That's the first thing. It's very, very important to determine the group structure. Remember, also I told you, if the group structure is not given to you also, you have to go and look for it. And how to determine, of course, the examiner is going to give you the number of shares the parent company acquired in the subsidiary. If the percentage is not given to you, two things. It's either the percentage is given to you or the number of shares will be given to you. If the percentage is given to you, of course, the examiner has made the question easier for you. But if the number of shares the parent company acquired subsidiary is given to you, which means you have to go and convert or determine what is the percentage of control. That is, how many percent does a parent company acquire? You have to convert it to 120,000. So that is how to determine the group structure. So the next step is that, remember as I said, you have to go and convert this number of shares into percentage of control. So that's the first step before you can consolidate statement of profit or loss. The second step, I call it consolidation schedule. It's good for you to have a schedule most of the times, before you consolidate. Okay, in the schedule we have maybe parents here, something like this. Parent, subsidiary, maybe adjustments, and the group. Yeah, something like this. Parent, subsidiary, adjustment, then the group. So, okay, in that system we have revenue, the revenue of parent, subsidiary. There's something you need to eliminate here to give you this. This is the group. That's a combination of that of parent and subsidiary. Then you have costs. Remember, this is just a working cost of sales. Here, something you need to record here to give you this. We have depreciation. Most if maybe it's a subsidiary's asset that was depreciated. We have unrealized profit. URP means who sold. Who sold? Maybe the parent sold to subsidiary. If the parent sold subsidiary, you now come to the column of parent and record it. So you have this. Then what you have, imagine it's just working. It's going to give you gross profit. Yeah, gross profit. From that, we'll now move to, maybe in case you have other incomes, other income, you have this, and this. Then you have admin. You have admin expense, parent, subsidiary. Then you have something like this. Now there are times you could have depreciation. Sorry, you could have what we call impairments, impairment loss. I mean, parent portion, take parent portion. Of course, if the LCI is measured at fair value, you take parent portion, of course, also go and take the LCI's portion of that impairment. Then we have distribution costs. Distribution costs is here. It's here. And also it's here. We have, if you want to show this, if you don't want to show this thing, you can have what we call the investment income. Third party only. External company only. External company only. I'll explain that later. Finance costs. It's going to be dash. Finance costs. Parent, subsidiary. You have this bracket. Minus everything you add, minus everything to give you profit before tax. Give you this, and this. Then income, tax, expenses, parent, subsidiary. By the time you minus it, you get profit for the year. Profits for the year. So that is that. So this is it. But I'm going to explain all those things, in the SOAP, in the agile competition, all the consolidation adjustments, if you want to treat and share information. So these are the schedule you must do, because if you do this schedule, at the end of the day, you just go and pick the last figures. By the time you are doing the real computation now, that's the consolidation. You just go and pick the last thing here, then that's going to be your answers, because here is going to help you to determine what you are going to record on that. So that's the second. This is the schedule. So let's go to the third step. The third step. Let's go to the third step. In this case, the third step. The third step now. The third step is number 3. Profits attributable to non-controlling interests. Okay? You have profits here attributable. Okay? Profit attributable to subsidiaries, profits, which is LCI times, so here is supposed to be profit attributable, profit of subsidiary, profit of subsidiary, the NCI, percentage times subsidiaries profits. Whatever you have, you record it. Then NCI share of profit. Yes, no. Let me put NCI share of subsidiaries profits. Yeah. NCI share of subsidiaries profit. Then NCI share of impairment. Now NCI percentage times times impairment loss. So whatever you have, you get this. So this is a profit attributable to the NCI, because remember in the third step we are going to. So these are the three major steps that you need before you consolidate statement of profit or loss. These are the three steps. So now remember I told you. Now we want to now look at now how do you now, because remember we say under profit or loss they will give you profit or loss account or parent and subsidiary. But remember, if they give you that, also they are going to give you additional information. So if they give additional information, so which means how do you treat additional information under the statement of profit or loss account? So we want to look at now the treatment of those additional information, how to treat it. Are we? So that's the next thing now. How to treat, we call it consolidation adjustments. How do you adjust? Make some adjustments? Yeah. How do you make some adjustments? We call it consolidation adjustment. I mean, you can call it consolidation adjustment, which means whenever they give you profit or loss account, also they are going to give you some additional information. How do you make an adjustment for those additional information? That is what we want to look at now. The first thing you might know, you are going to come across, the first thing you are going to come across under the additional information is what you call number one, intra-group sales. Now, intra-group sales, this is a sales that occurs between the members of the group. When we say sales that occur between members of the group, we mean that there are times a parent company might sell an inventory to subsidiary, or even subsidiary selling to parent company. So remember, that is an inter-group sales. So if that occurs, if parent company sell an inventory to subsidiary, or subsidiary sells an inventory to the parent company, of course, you know, for the basis of, for the purpose of consolidation, we are not required to show that intra-group sale, because remember, for example, if parent company sells to subsidiary a goods worth of 100,000, this 100,000 is already in the sales of the parent company. Yeah, this 100,000. While this 100,000 is already in the purchases of the subsidiary. This 100,000 is going to be under the sales of parent, while this one is going to be under the purchases of subsidiary. So which means now, you know, for the purpose of consolidation, we are not expected to consolidate this 100,000. So which means now, anytime you have intra-group sales, the treatment is that now, how do you treat the intra-group sales now? If you go to that step 2 that I gave the workings under that consolidation schedule, you know, I told you there's a parent, subsidiary, adjustment group, and I give you a particular figure here. Now, that figure I put in bracket here. Anytime a parent company sells an inventory to subsidiary, or subsidiary selling an inventory to parent, eliminate the intra-group sales from the group revenue or sales, and eliminate the same amount from the group cost of sales. Eliminate that intra-group sales from the group sales or revenue. Eliminate the same amount from the group cost of sales. Now, if you go to step 2 now, remember I told you, you will see I said parent subsidiary adjustment. For example, parent company maybe revenue is 1 million naira, subsidiary 800,000. And under additional, okay, then let's assume this cost of sales. Maybe this is 750,000, this is 500,000. And under additional information, we are told that parent company sell an inventory, let's assume this first addition. Parent company sells an inventory value at 100,000 to subsidiary. Now, you see, okay, maybe they say the parent company sell an inventory to subsidiary value at 100,000, or it can even be subsidiary selling to parent at 100,000. Now, for you to make an adjustment for this, which means under that step 2, you say parent, subsidiary, adjustments, and then group. So which means I'm going to say revenue. How much is the revenue of parent? It's not 1 million. 1 million naira. Subsidiary, remember this is just an example, 800,000. Now, the intragroup sales here, we are told that the parent company sell an inventory to subsidiary. So which means you will have to go and eliminate this 100,000, because remember I told you, if parent company sell to subsidiary, this 100,000 is going to be under the sales revenue of parent and under the purchases of subsidiary, because subsidiary is purchasing from parent. So now, for the purpose of consolidation, we are not expected to consolidate this 100,000 there. So we're supposed to go and eliminate the 100,000 from the revenue of parent and the cost of sales